Remind me to bring the camera back to the painting, to the support. I keep forgetting. I nearly did yesterday. I'm in a couple of minutes with you angled down at my palette and not what I was actually doing. Anyway, a few words about these Stay Wet palettes. I'm not getting paid to say this. I bought this. Well, this is a replacement of one that actually wore out. It's a small Masterson Stay Wet palette. You can use it for oil or watercolour, depending on the membranes. And it comes supplied. I usually use just a piece of ordinary furniture type sponge, foam rubber. But these you soak with water, put in the base of the palette, and I've got two different types of membrane here. I've got the one I normally use, which is with the one that's supplied for the large palette, which I shall be using in my studio palette. That's a membrane. It lets water through one side, but it stops the paint going through the other. There are also oil ones, so you can use these palettes for oil. So you don't have to keep scraping it off and wasting it. You can carry on the next day or a few days later. This is the very thin greaseproofy type membrane supplied with the Daler Rowney Stay Wet palette, which I don't use. I used to use it, but it isn't anywhere near as robust as these Masterson ones. These are like really heavy duty Tupperware. But that I'm just getting ready for when I go on holiday in September for a few days, camping with my trailer, with my wife, and we're going down to Dorset. So I'll put the lid on that, and I'll show you my other one. These are not very expensive, and they're not watertight either, but they are good quality. So here we are with the large palette which I use. It's a very good size. The only downside to this, of course, is that it drags up water when you're not using it, and the water does tend to get a little bit diluted. But if you don't put too much out at one time, it doesn't really matter. You can use it up. Right, so that's that. I'll show you what I'm going to have a go at. Right, can you see that? I'll just come up a bit and I'll zoom in. It's a watercolour I did several months ago of a lakeland scene. And we have an area called the Lake District in the UK. It's on the west coast, above Wales, and it's very, very lovely. I have been there, but I tend to make the views up as I go along, and this is what I felt like doing at the time. Just a simple background with a lake, and I've painted a lot of reflections on lakes, but large lakes like these are very seldom reflective. They're wind ruffled, so you don't get the reflection. You might have close up, like close to little shorelines here, you would see a bit because the water might be calmer. But out here, whoops, the water is ruffled, and it's like that most of the time. And if you don't like painting reflections, but you like lakes and stuff, just imagine if you were there in front of a still scene with all these complicated reflections, just throw a pebble in. That would break up the reflection, all right? And it'd be quite natural. So here we've got a rather large sky, which I'm going to do a version of. So this will be by way of a sky tutorial, maybe. All this sort of stuff is very easy to do in watercolour with a bit of practice. Not so in acrylic. I'm painting much rougher with the acrylic, and that's rough enough there. Right, okay, so I'll come up, I'm remembering to come up to the board, zoom out, get as large as I can without blocking any off. There I am with me £1.34 reading glasses from the cheap shop. I'll put that aside, put my tools. It's great working from this little tablet. I'll just enlarge it a bit. Right, so I'm going to change my approach. This is quite a good brush. Well, the ferrule's a bit loose. So I'm not, if I could get it off. What I normally do is, is to pull the ferrule off and dip the stub into some PVA glue. Right, so I'll paint the background. Will I use some? I'll rough it in water. So a bit of grey for a bit of alizarin in there as well for the background. Bit of red. Okay, so we'll come about halfway. We'll down like that, something like that. Remember, this doesn't exist other than in our imagination. I'm using the Canson paper I bought in America. I didn't like it for watercolour. It's a bit smooth. Draw a bit of a horizon across here. I'll balance that with a tree, the same as I did in the other one, in the watercolour. And we're putting a fainter background in the back. So I'm really working from another painting, which I like to do. I'll put a bit of yellow, bit of greeny stuff. Just fill it in a bit of water. This is only a preparation. It's not going to be the finished thing. So we just paint away until you get something that is pleasing. That doesn't please me, but we're just roughing it at the moment. And now we'll put in a bluey, sienna-y tree line. Let's get that bit straight. This is just a sketch at the moment. No attempt at any finished work at this stage. This is just the design stage. And I'm going to paint down to this, like I've been doing. I used to always paint the sky first and then superimpose everything else on top of it, but I'm tending to paint down to it. It seems to have more impact. So let's just blur that a bit. Try and get it straight, or at least get it horizontal. That's all right. It's all going to be covered over. Now we'll put in the bit of a bank coming across here. Warmer colours, warmer greens. I've just used black in this mix. And then, okay, we'll do more in here. Then a bit of a beach coming across here. Just change some grasses and a bit of water, and then we'll have a bit of stuff coming up here, reedy grasses. Okay, so then we'll have the tree. I will put the tree in afterwards, I think. Right, so we'll put in the water, which will be a colour reflecting the sky, the general sky, so it'll be bluish. So let's just get that in there. Oh, much more white than that. See, with oil, you'd take ages trying to do this because of the drying time of the acrylic. It's so good, and also it's putting a coating on the paint on the surface, and you build up a bit of texture. You can do what I have been doing, is to use a homemade gesso on it to rough it up, give a rough texture to paint on. A bit darker in the foreground here. No attempt of putting impasto on yet. Right, that cup of tea. Are you with me so far? Hi. This will be dark along here. Then I can superimpose the sails of the yachts and things. Right, go down with the sky now. No, it won't. We'll model this a bit more. Let's get some nicer colours in there. Some blue, some red. This is all distant. Bring that up a bit. Now, I don't want to make that one a smaller version of that. But try to work everything soft. Okay. We can put a bit of scenery in that background, as if the light is catching. Good bit of light in there. But all's very soft, and we can put a bit of so I'm just working out a nice, pleasing shape. Right, let's do some sky now. So a nice light background, warm. So I've used some sienna in there. That is burnt sienna, maybe a bit of red. So this is all quite, you can hear smooth, it's not catching on any bits of plaster or anything, but and we can put a dark cloud on the top of that. Bring that down there. I'm not making any attempt to make a finished painting at this stage. It's just merely the roughing in. And the sky is just a little bit too light now. No, too dark. So let's just put in some grey. Now my sky is anything but a copy of what I'm working from. Starts to lead a life of its own. Right, let's get a bit of alizarin in there with the ultramarine, and then that's too dark. And then just model away as it dries. Just go over it until something happens. Let's just blue that out a little bit there. You need to put a lot more white out on your board, on your palette, because you use so much more. A bit of yellow ochre in that, and the mix for the white now. And my white is just a little bit thin now. And then a bit lighter as we come to the horizon. Just go over what you've already done just a little bit. So everything becomes soft. I'm a great one for softness. And just keep building up. I'm still looking at just a little bit sketchy at the moment. Just little clouds going across here. I don't want any blue in this. Probably I'm influenced by what's going on my big Velux window above my right shoulder. It's a slightly bluey grey day. A bit on the cool side for summer. Let's just see a bit of line down there. Right, let's just cover that up. So we're getting a little bit of dry brush going here now. Just under the shadow side of the cloud. Just little bits of cloud. We can put a bit of light on top of that. The yellow underneath is, well, the ochre look is just at the background to the clouds, and then we can put some lighter stuff over that. That's mixing with a bit of burnt sienna. Right, something's coming. And we'll go back to the underside of these clouds. Let's just make them a little more solid, but not as stuck on. Don't want anything looking stuck on. Now, the temptation is to make that one like that one. So resist that at all costs. So let's just get that one in there. Right, let's get this back to some lights. You can warm up your lights by adding a little bit of alizarin or light, well, vermilion with some ochre, but only just a touch. We don't want to make it a red sky. I'm just showing. I'll show you on the palette. Well, there's my vermilion, and there's my ochre. There's my burnt sienna. Just slightly warmer. See, look, you can drag over that now and just make it more mercurial. Is that a good word? Oh, lovely. Got some nasty little even things there, don't like that. So just paint those out. Just go over that a little bit. Right, well I think that is quite reasonable. We can make that a little bit more dark when that's dry. Let's go back into that water. And just paint that in, just cover the paper. I think where some of you might go wrong if you're a beginner is trying to do a two finished painting at the beginning rather than at the end. This way of working, you find your way, it develops as you go along. As you get more into it, pleasing things start to happen. So we want a bit darker in here, because this is closer to there, that's all right. Right, now we just want to put in a lighter horizon there. I have to stretch my paper a minute. We're going uphill a bit there, but I can straighten it up when I put the tree line back in, which I'll do in a minute. But I quite like that sky. I wouldn't say it's finished yet, but let's have a look on the screen. Yeah, okay, that's a bit bright. So we're going to work on that now. Get in some thicker paint. So not quite so blue, one bit of green in there. Alright, let's just got a bit of warm. Put some shadow in there. Nice yellow now. I'm using that phthalo to give my greens a nice start, and then I'll mix a bit of red with it to make it just a little bit more realistic. Let's get a bit of white in there. Some nice light bits here. Just blurring, subtly trying to change. Let's get some nice yellow now, picking up the light from the sky. I'm looking at the screen just to see what you're looking at. Right, that's just a little bit dark there, I think. I'm just going to scumble over that. Okay, now we want some good light on that slope. So a bit of yellow ochre, a bit of white. And then a bit of shadow colour in here. Still not happy. I need. Oops. I'm mixing up greens here, but very light greens. I just want some of that to catch. Right, I'll put a bit of shadow in there, just very light, just to separate it from see, this is where you reach that point when the painting seems to be moving away from you. I'm just trying to create another plane here. Right, enough of that. I'm going to put in some detail on there. But I'll just do the horizon first. So we'll some blue, some burnt sienna, some phthalo, some yellow, some red, just to get a variety of colours on that distant bank. But I want on the blue side, but it's not too dark. Just gently try to get this horizon a bit straight, or a bit horizontal, should I say. I can put some light over that. We're going uphill there. You can draw your horizon on. I never do, well, seldom. I sort of tend to rely on sight. But since I'm working to the side of the picture rather than in front of it, it's a trouble when you demonstrate publicly, you're standing to one side so that they can see what you're doing, and it goes uphill. I've done horizons on sea pictures where the horizon is going uphill. That's still going uphill a bit. It needs to come down a bit in the middle there. I can put a bit of a beach in here as well, in front of all this. But try to keep everything soft. Look, we can have bits of island in there. That's island as in isles, not Ireland. You try to keep your horizon open. So a bit of the water comes into the, not like that. Like there, it's all soft. I'm trying to get a real rich warm greeny colour here. And as I do this, I can put some lights back on top of it. Now, not too much here because that's going to be covered by that tree that I'm going to put in at some stage. I'm going to try to do this in one session. I see a lot of suggestions to what to watch next are demonstrations of only 2 to 3, 4 minutes. They're not full demos. You have to buy their DVDs. So aren't you lucky? Right, that'll do. Now we're going to go with a bit of blue now, and we'll put some little, going up a little slope here, just a bit of tree line, but doing that in blue so that it's or blue grey, so that it looks distant. Remember, blues recede and reds, warm colours come closer. So here we are, just go back with this sky colour, a bit of blue here, we can, or a bit darker than that. So I'm using a worn out brush here. It probably was a number 6, it's now about number 3. But just showing farms, stone walls, but just in your imagination. Just an impression. Right, now we want some bit of light in there. Like in here, in there. Right, okay. Clean the brush. We'll put a bit of texture on, or a bit of detail on here. So warmer greens. So a bit more red in with the greens. To show the shape of the land. Might put some rocks on there. Oh, farms. Nothing of any great detail, but it just makes that barren mound of mountain, hill. So that is sort of what we're aiming for. Let's just put in some lighter. I keep catching the light, I forgot what we were going to say then. And what are we doing? Well, we're not setting the world alight at the moment, are we? But I want some patches of good good light on there. A bit of ochre. Break up that flatness. Just like that. Right, that's not too bad. I'll put a bit of detail in on the foreground, on those middle distant trees. Just breaking up too much of that detail. That's a bit too much there. That's just bring that horizon down a little bit there. The lovely thing, it's all dry. It's great fun. Right, now the background now is quite diffuse. It's quite indistinct because it is distant, but maybe just a couple of little slightly heavier colour, those trees there. Right, just going to put some rocks here. That's too far away for rocks. Right, let's concentrate now on these bits here. So, a bit of Usher black in there. Okay. I'm using black here and a bit of burnt sienna. And just putting this rough, this grass in, showing through here. And that's sort of a reflection. People put above, put below. And you can keep working away at this till something happens. A bit of a beach there, we can have a bit of grey there. So we've got a lot of grasses and stuff showing in this foreground now. I'm using the wrong brush, right? this easel, it's a box easel, and I can't get it just high enough so that it's level. It's got some down. Well, that's its downside. I can raise it up on its three legs to quite high, but then I'm painting up here, and I like to sit down with my feet on the floor. Right, let's change the brush. Let's see what happens if we use a rigger. Probably nothing. We won't improve anything. Well, I don't know. Can't get a lot of paint on this. It's a bit too thin, really. But I want that area to be sort of indistinct. What other brushes have we got here? Right, I'll use my old thin, worn out bristle brush. Shake the water out of the... When I shake it on the floor here, my studio floor is covered in carpet tiles, and I'm on an old rug as well. I dread to think of the mildew that might be underneath it. Anyway, right. So we'll mix some greys, some pebbly greys. That's good. Bit of grey sand. Right, I think I'll use my slippery brush now. So, grasses. So, right, just I've got to create an impression now of grasses sticking through the water. Let's put some dark in there. Just dragging these long bristles with some paint on, just to show a rough foreground with lots, an impression of a lot going on when there isn't really. And then we've got here. Put a bit of grey in there. Just to fill in. I can do some rigger work on there a bit later. Let's get the tree in here now. So, winter tree. That'll come up above there. That's yeah. Let's put it up about there. all that work I did behind to waste of time, isn't it? Right, a bit of water. Plenty of water actually. I'm going to do some sort of silhouetted, but you want it to flow, we need water. Ooh. Use a finer one. But this is you do need a lot of water to do this. Some crossing over in front of others. Right. Just reflection there, and then we can put in some I'll just stipple something on that. I've gone a bit heavy. It's quite tricky using the rigger without being graphic with it, so let's just put some of that on. Just cover that up a little bit. Some yellow in there, greeny. I'm bodging that's gone a little bit wrong there, so let's. Right, let's do some boats now. Right, we're on the last bits now. We can put a little boat on there. Go away. Right, that's done that. And these are a bit bigger than that, I think. I'll use my little flat brush here just to show. I hope I don't overdo this. Just want to show that. Oh no. Don't answer the phone when I'm doing this. Right, I'm going to sign that and put it in a mount and see what we've got. Done. Oops. Right, put it in the mount and we'll have a look at it. I'll get that phone call this in. To want to speak to me rather insistently. So, right, I'll just clip that up a bit higher than that. No, I'm not sure if this is good enough to upload, but anyway. Put that on there. Well, I don't think it's anywhere near as good as a watercolour, but I don't know, you can let me know what you think. If I get that straight. No, I can't. It's difficult to, I don't know, Alan seems to do it okay, doesn't he? I should work this out somewhere, but my camera's always in a different position. Well, there we are. It's a lakeland scene, sky over a lakeland scene. I quite like the sky. I quite like that. I'm not so sure about that, but there we go. That's for better or for worse. It's an impressionist type of picture. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.